Hey everyone, I'm Joe and today I'll be talking about my 2017 reading plans and projects. 2016 was a very successful year for my various goals I had. I'm not going to talk about them in this video. Obviously I did a separate video which I will link in the description box below. 2017 will be just as successful and it obviously will be just as fun. However, it will be slightly different. I've got more of a focus this year. This is in part due to the sheer amount of projects and ideas I've got for things for this year, which obviously I will briefly mention in this video. The bigger projects though will get their own separate videos, so I'm only going to very lightly sort of tell you some brief details on them, and one of them I'm not going to say much about at all, frankly. Anyway, this means that this year will be the most ambitious year I've ever had reading wise since I've created my channel. In theory, I might be sort of trying to challenge myself to read more books than any other year. Actually, in theory, I should be reading more books this year than the previous 3 years combined, which is several hundred. So I'm not sure how likely it is that I'll manage to achieve everything, but we'll see. So first, the smaller goals, and the first of which is the fact I will technically set a number of books to be read. So I will be doing the Goodreads challenge. I'm going to set this goal at 104 books, which basically is obviously 2 books per week, which is not all that difficult. I'm only really doing this because the Goodreads challenge dialogue box that comes up on the main page of the Goodreads website is frankly really big and really annoying, and frankly I just want to get rid of it. Quite simply, I'm not too bothered frankly about the actual goal other than this, because as you know, the idea of reading a particular number of books doesn't seem that useful to me. You know, I mean, I'm not in competition with myself. That'd be frankly mad. So it's more just a very practical thing to do with the slightly faulty design of the Goodreads website, frankly, as I see it. So it's a simple one. So the second thing I want to achieve this year is gender diversity. This is a continuing goal from both last year and the year before. The previous 2 years I have managed a fairly poor ratio of 82% male, 18% female with regard to the gender of the author that I read, which obviously a lot of them are on the shelf behind me. Yeah, 82 to 18 is a terrible percentage. I mean, yes, some of my favourite authors are male, so it's kind of to be expected that it will be more male, but that really is quite heavily tilted in one way, and I would like to fix it. So frankly, I'm hoping I can actually get to a 70-30 by the end of this year ratio, 70% male, 30% female. If I can achieve more, that'd be brilliant, but that'd be pushing it frankly. But we'll see what I can manage, and hopefully I can get much higher than that. The third thing I want to do this year is actually a fairly simple one, although it involves a reasonable amount of books, and that is continue with and finish all ongoing series. Now this is one that a lot of people obviously would like to achieve this year, and this year I'm no exception. I've got various series like the Wheel of Time series, which I am halfway through, and Stephen King's Dark Tower series, as well as several others, at least 4 others that I'm part of the way through. And I just want to complete these series because having them sort of partially read and not getting to the end is frankly a bit annoying, frankly, at this point. So I just want to get them all read, all done with, so I can say, right, I've read The Wheel of Time, I've read The Dark Tower, I've read these other ones. It just makes me happy in myself. The last smaller goal that I want to achieve this year is to reduce my owned unread books. On the shelf behind me, and indeed one over there, I've got roughly somewhere between 150 and 200 books. I'm not sure the exact number because I don't actually count them. And 150 to 200 is a bit high really. Now, I like having a certain amount of unread books on my shelves at all times because it means that I've always got something new to me to read without needing to buy them, although I do buy books rather quickly as well, but still. And basically my goal is to try and reduce that by preferably 50 by the end of this year. So, but if I can only achieve a little reduction, even 20, that'd be okay. Although 50 is my bigger goal, really. That'd be more noticeable, and it'd make me happy to try and get down to that number. And by the end of the year, I will actually have counted exactly how many books on my shelf I actually have unread, because at the moment I don't know the exact number, I just know a rough estimate. So I'll know the exact number by the end of the year. So that's it for the smaller goal. Now I'll talk about the 3 larger projects that I've got in mind starting from this year. They won't necessarily finish this year, though. Actually, 2 of them are very long ongoing projects. One of them, I would like to try and achieve part of it this year, or even the whole thing, but frankly we'll see how I manage with it. Oh, and I'm not going to say too much detail about any of these projects because each of them will be getting their own videos and indeed their own video series. So I'll just say a brief details now. But the first of which is I'm going to be reading award-winning books starting from this month or possibly next month. I'm not sure, it depends when I do the video exactly. But I will do the first introduction video to this series in 1 or 2 weeks' time. So expect that very, very soon. And it should be a really fun and interesting project. I'm hoping that it will lead to a bit of sort of community sort of spirit, and obviously a nice amount of buddy read, because obviously buddy reads are, I personally find, quite enjoyable. And if we can get people talking in comments and things and to each other about books, not even necessarily to me, if I can get 2 people talking in the comments to each other and sort of ignoring me, that's perfectly fine by me. I want to get people interacting with each other on BookTube, because I feel sometimes with BookTube it's very much a case of the people that make the videos, like me, everybody interacts with me, and sometimes people seem to, and indeed I tend to do this myself when commenting on people's videos, I only comment on their videos, I don't comment on other comments. There's not much sort of interaction or cross interaction between people, at least limited of it. So hopefully this project will improve that. The second project I have in mind is to read certain authors on a very focused scale. This will be a monthly series. Yeah, again, it will be starting probably in the same week as the previous project. And I'm not going to say too much more, but it will be very focused on one author each month, a different author each month as well. This may involve buddy reads, but it's a bit more trickier because I'm going to be very focused, and frankly I'm going to be reading certain books relatively quickly. But if I can involve buddy reads, I will try to where I can, because obviously, again, I want to try and make this a year where I actually sort of try to improve the sort of community interaction between people, frankly. And the third project is actually one that I actually can't say anything about. I'm not trying to be mysterious on purpose. It's just this project is absolutely massive in scope. I mean, it really is. I've got a video series that I'm going to do eventually for it, although it probably won't be till sometime next year, 2018, before I can actually even make the first video, let alone the entire series. It will involve a 20 or 30 videos in total. It's not going to be an ongoing series. It will be sort of fairly focused between several dozen videos. And the amount of books I will need to read in preparation for me to be able to talk about what I want to talk about in a intelligent or semi-intelligent manner is pretty extreme. I mean, I will have to read ideally 400 to 500 books for this project for me to actually make the videos, and so I'm actually knowledgeable on the things I want to talk about. So I can't say any more about it now, I'm afraid, but it should prove an interesting one, I'm hoping. And it'll certainly be a challenge to make, because I've got to figure out what I need to read. I don't even know what I'm reading for it entirely. So it should be a curious project. So with that said, that's it for this year. A few smaller, fairly more simple goals to achieve, and then my 3 bigger projects, which obviously I'll do videos about in the upcoming weeks. If you have any reading goals for this year, or you're doing the Goodreads challenge, or do you want to improve, any sort of ratios or percentages of certain authors or anything like that, then let me know what they are and we can have a talk. All my social media links can be found in the description box below, as always. And with that, easy. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you another day. Bye for now.